Madam Speaker, I rise in strong support of HRES 863, impeaching Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He has violated his oath of office and breached the public trust by willfully refusing to ensure the laws passed by Congress and signed into law by the President are faithfully executed as required by Article 2 of the Constitution. He has allowed over 10 million illegal border crossers to invade our country, approximately 2 million of whom are known gotaways. These are people who have completely evaded U.S. authorities and are roaming the interior of the American communities, assaulting, raping, and murdering Americans. And God help us if we have a terrorist attack on our land.
I rise today to condemn this rushed, baseless, sham impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas that will go down in history as one of Congress's darkest moments. The Republican argument for impeachment boils down to their view that Secretary Mayorkas has intentionally caused the influx of immigrants over our southern border. Never mind that even if true, this is not a high crime or misdemeanor that has ever been used before in the history of our country. The reason for this partisan stunt is simple. Donald Trump and House Republicans want to use the border as an election year issue rather than actually solve the problems through necessary legislation. Never mind that no court has found the Secretary or the Department of Homeland Security to have violated the law. And in fact, the United States versus Texas case, which my friends on the other side of the aisle like to cite so frequently, actually reversed a district court ruling and held that there must be discretion given to the secretary, as there has been given to every single department secretary for 27 years. And never mind that every one of those Department of Homeland Security secretaries has interpreted the law the exact same way that Secretary Mayorkas has. Never mind that Republicans have sued him to stop him from implementing the policy changes that the administration has tried to put in effect to address the situation at the border. Never mind that House Republicans are impeaching him for failing to address the problems at the border while he has spent months negotiating a bipartisan bill in the Senate to do just that.
Gentleman is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Chairman. This impeachment against Secretary Mayorkas is a sham. The process was a sham. The charges are a sham. And you might wonder, if that's the case, then why go through all of this trouble? Well, last November, a colleague of mine from the state of Texas stood up in this chamber and asked for one meaningful accomplishment that the Republican Congress has accomplished this session. The answer was nothing. That colleague was not a Democrat on this side of the aisle, but a Republican. A Republican who asked the question whether somebody could name one meaningful accomplishment. So the answer to my question, why does this happen, when you have no record of accomplishment to run on, nothing on education, nothing on health care, nothing about creating jobs, nothing on the environment, nothing about keeping people safe, this is what you do. You put on a circus. And that's why we're here today. If we need an example, let's look to the last few days. For years, Republicans have used immigrants as political scarecrows, using them like scarecrows to put up in the face of Americans and scare Americans that every single one of these people, including the 6-year-old children, is coming to harm you and hurt you. And because they have no positive policy solutions, man, they sell that really hard. You hear it on every radio interview, every television interview. You hear it from the people in here. You hear it on television, on Fox News, every single place. They use these people to scare Americans. That's how they want to win. And that's why we're here. because there's nothing else left. And on the border,
Gentleman,
I would ask for,
Additional 30 seconds.
gentleman recognized for additional 30 seconds.
they have claimed that we need to secure the border. But even when President Biden made the comment that he would be willing to shut down the border because it's overwhelmed, the Republican speaker says that that proposal that would allow for it, what they've been asking for supposedly for years, they say it's dead on arrival. They're not going to do it. This is a show trial. It's a sham. I yield back, Speaker.